Let's talk about art. Many of you may have heard about environmental print. In fact, in Miss Negron's lesson, let me scroll back down here. She shared an art lesson last week teaching us that we can find art in our neighborhoods and in the environmental print around us. She was asking us to look for store signs and other street signs that had word art, and she asked us to make some word art. Well, when I was working on her lesson, I immediately was connected back to the petroglyphs. If those are symbols and they are in the environment, it reminded me of a picture that I have. Whoops, here we go, learning again. Let's go back. Here we go. That I have this picture, I have several of these pictures in my home on my wall. They are by a Norwegian artist, a local artist named Rita Jørgensen. And she painted these paintings inspired by these petroglyphs that are, real. This specific picture is titled Storhånds kjempe, which really means man with large hands. Can you see these large hands right here? And remember we were talking about how the other stone hands or hand stones were reaching up towards something? This artist, I think she was inspired by this reaching up, and she knew that the sun was very important for the people of this time. And that's what, we learned that in our history books about the people of this time. They were dependent on the sun and the weather around them because of their crops and how they were growing their food and catching their food and hunting and living. And so the artist was thinking, maybe this person is reaching their hands up to the sky and asking, where's the sun in the night? So she created this background here of this really bright yellow space, which wasn't, of course, in the actual petroglyph, because if you remember, those were all marked, carved, or painted on stone, so we didn't see the colors. So she was imagining that they were asking, where's the sun? And so that's how artists are inspired by things in their environment. Whoops. Let me go back. And maybe I can inspire you. So I'd like to inspire you to think about a story. And think about what is happening in this picture. And think about what you could write. And you may not want to write about any of this, and that's okay. And so if you don't feel inspired by any of these pictures, then hopefully you have learned a little bit about how pictures and symbols can tell stories in ways that words cannot. And then think about this. If you do not speak the language, for example, very few of you speak Norwegian like I do. But could you still understand what's happening in this story? So think about it that way. Think about a story that you could write or draw in pictures, and something that could tell what's happening right now. And you could share that with someone who doesn't speak the language. It's just an idea. Either way, I'm glad that you were here with me today. I'm going to go back really fast. I'm going to go back to the Old Town Road. Oops, here we go. I'm going to end with the Old Town Road. And I'm going to invite you to think about your stories. Take a walk in the neighborhood. If you need some time to think and reflect, or sit in your house or your apartment, wherever you are, and just take some time to read Talk to your family and friends who are around you. Share your stories and share your memories. And I really hope to see you very, very soon. At least I'll see you next week on another video.